Good night, good evening, good morning, good day, and good time of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Today on our podcast, uh, we have a, a spiritual master, a yogi. Is everything okay with my camera? I need to check. Yes, yes, everything must be okay. A spiritual master, a yogi, my good friend, Shiva Kailash Shambho.
Thank you
Shiva.
very much. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Alex asked me to do a podcast, so here I am. Let's talk.
Yeah. So our podcast is not just won't just be one podcast. I'm planning to do three parts, and all these three podcasts will be about Shiva's long journey on the subcontinent, on the Indian subcontinent, from the beginning to the very Kailash, and yeah, like this. So is the first part, and we will start with our questions. I have I have 9 questions for you today. So the first one: when, where, and how did you start your journey to India?
Well, it all started uh, a few years ago. Can't tell you the date. I don't know and I don't remember. But it started here in this room, the very room that I'm sitting, and on this bed. I was. I woke up in the morning. It was a beautiful day outside, very sunny. I looked out the window, lots of sunshine coming through my window. I sat up out of my bed, I put my feet on the floor, and instantly lots of light came into my mind's eye, and a deep, strong intuition essentially said, you need to go to Sydney, Australia. So when these things happen, when these things arise, I don't question them, I don't deny them, and I knew with 100% certainty this is where I will do, this is where I will go. So that moment I started making my plans, booking my flight, getting the necessary visa. And within a month's time, I was flying.
All right. So your journey to India started from Australia.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Uh,
Well, let me clarify some things. After
sure.
Australia, I stayed in Australia for approximately 1 year, maybe a little bit less than 1 year. Then something presented itself again because my visa was running out. I had a 1 year working holiday visa. I didn't work the entire time, but I just kind of did whatever I wanted to do. And my visa was running out. I knew I couldn't extend it. It wouldn't be really possible. I needed a new opportunity. And so I just called out to the universe, just bring me something. And lo and behold, someone messaged me saying, hey, there's some yogi living in New Zealand, which is just over the ocean, very close to Australia. And he's looking for people to establish some land, looking for spiritual people to help his work. And I instantly knew, okay, this is the right place to go. This is the right location. And that's exactly what I did. So I booked my flight to New Zealand. I arrived there. Things didn't happen the way that I wanted them to. Well, nothing really does, but they happened exactly as they needed to. And fortunately for me, someone came from Germany, all the way from Germany to New Zealand to see me. His name is Dennis. I recorded some podcasts and videos with him many months ago. And after this situation with the New Zealand ashram started to break down, we knew we needed to go somewhere else. And I just so happened that I gained the necessary strength to finally go to India. And I was very happy that Dennis was with me also because I didn't want to go alone. India felt like a dangerous place, potentially it could be. And it's a totally foreign, totally new land. It's not like Australia, which it's a little bit, it's kind of like Canada a little bit. And also New Zealand is very similar. But India is not like that. So I was happy and fortunate that he was with me because we get to travel together. And so after New Zealand, we arrived in India, which is a very blessed and sacred land.
Where is Dennis now?
Dennis is back in Germany, doing some work. Has plans for the future, so he's making that happen.
I heard that he did some advanced program. Did he in the Isha, or he
Not in
didn't?
not in Isha, but he went to Kerala, which is down south
Mm-hmm.
next to the ocean, and he did a advanced yoga teacher training for 500 hours, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was.
Okay, okay. So the next question we're heading towards is your first impression of India.
When I arrived in Coimbatore, I stepped out of the airplane and got through the security. We went out of the airport and I saw a picture of Sadhguru's face on a huge billboard and his quote. And I felt reassured. Okay, I'm in the right place. We didn't land at the wrong airport because the Isha Yoga Center is here and I'm going to get to witness everything and going to get to see what it is. First impressions was that it's a very chaotic place. There aren't really any rules or laws, at least when it comes to driving. That was very obvious. People just kind of did whatever they liked. You cross the street whenever you want. People just turn around and drive on the opposite side of the street as they pleased. And that was quite hectic and a little bit, I needed to be very aware. Second impression that I had was it was a very spiritual land, extremely spiritual, intensely spiritual. I felt it in the land that for tens of thousands of years, maybe more, yogis and sages and even regular common folks have been doing spiritual rituals and spiritual practices, and the land imbibed it. It was like I was walking on a temple. The most remotest, dirtiest alleyway that you could possibly see in this rural town of Coimbatore, wherever I was, we were walking to find a hotel to stay. And we were walking through sewers and we were walking through alleyways in the middle of the night, and I could still feel this is such a vibrant place. It's such an alive place. It's such a sacred land because people have been doing yogic and spiritual practices here for tens of thousands of years, and the land imbibed it. So it felt like a gigantic or a very big temple, the entire Indian subcontinent. Of course, I can't say this for the entire country because I haven't been in all the cities, but I'm fairly confident and certain that I can make this generalization that the entire land is like one big temple. I also have been to northern parts. It also feels very similar. So it felt very safe and comfortable knowing that everyone here is spiritual. I couldn't find anyone that didn't have at least some essence of spirituality. There were men that were walking around with Western kind of educated men with jeans, but that was very rare, so everyone had this to some extent. Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
this is actually so beautiful because I don't see any spiritual people here, and this feels strange. Okay, anyways,
yeah, that's true.
to the third question we have. What was the path to Coimbatore and Isha Yoga Center? I don't know what that means because you just said everything. So to the fourth one, uh, where and how did you spend your time there?
So where and how did I spend my time there? I initially thought that I was going to stay in the Isha Yoga Center in the hotels that they have inside the ashram premises. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, so I didn't sleep a single day in the ashram. So I stayed at a hotel, local hotel. The name of the hotel was Raja Residency. If you ever go to Coimbatore and you, for some reason, can't stay in the Isha Yoga Center or you want to stay somewhere else, Raja Residency is where I stayed because it's the most maximum blue energy, maximum Vishuddhi chakra energy, that hotel I found, and that was very comfortable for me to stay there. Also, it was relatively close from the Isha Yoga Center. So, yes. Fortunately, even though I didn't get to stay in the Isha Yoga Center, I visited some temples. I visited the temple, the Yamalinga temple, and so on.
You can tell about temples that you visited, maybe Tianalinga, maybe some more temples outside of Isha Yoga Center, just in Coimbatore or somewhere else.
Yes, so I got banned from the Isha Yoga Center. For all those that don't know, I had some unfortunate circumstances that happened there. I had items in my backpack that weren't allowed in the ashram space, and they gave me the option to throw it away or to hide it, and that's exactly what I did. But the next day they changed their mind and said, no, no, you can't go. And if you're wondering if it's something illegal, it's not something illegal, but maybe it's something taboo or potentially could be dangerous. So that's basically what it is. uh, to summarize it, you wouldn't be able to bring this on a airport luggage, like with your carry-on. You would have to check it in. That's as much as that. That's all that it was. So within those 2 days, though, I knew that I needed to take advantage of this opportunity because potentially they could reject me. So instantly I went to the Janalinga temple. I spent 30, 40, 45 minutes or longer there. And that was like a big beast just sitting there. You're like sitting next to an enlightened monster. It was an experience that every one of you has to experience once in your life. You have to physically go there. There's just no option not to. And of course, I went to the Lingabhairavi temple, which is a powerful occult temple. That's what I felt in the instinctive nature that I got from it. It's a powerful occult temple. You can do lots of things with this if you can draw its energy. And I swam in the Surya Kund, of course. That was very remarkable. The quality of the energy, the quality of the water changed my body. And it was like I was awake and alive. I had 2 cups of coffee, but no drowsiness or no side effects. It was really something to experience also. And after that, I got banned from the actual temple itself or from the premises, so I couldn't go there. The entire time I spent right in front of the Adiyogi, which it has a 600 kilogram solidified mercury lingam, which is the Yogeshwara linga. So I spent the majority of my time there. I meditated and chanted the mantra and brought my intensity up. And after a while, I realized it's not sufficient, so something else needs to happen. And that's when I started climbing the Valangari mountain. So fortunately, my friend, good friend GJ now, he came all the way from Chennai to Coimbatore on a 9-hour bus ride. And he gave me also the confidence to go up this mountain. I remember one night in my hotel room, I was thinking before GJ came, I need to go up there, and I need to go up there tonight. I didn't know anything about going up, how many people there are, but I've just heard that someone said you need to go at nighttime. Sadhguru said people go in the night. My camera just froze. Well,
It's no problem.
regardless, maybe you can still hear me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I know why. I'm going to open this up and um, yeah, so I'm going to continue talking so that we're
Sure,
not
sure.
Um, I went up Valangari Mountain, and that was quite an experience in and of itself. And I ended up going up there 4 times total because the energy there was just so spectacular, so remarkable. I couldn't get enough of it. And fortunately for me, GJ, the first time he came, he went up with me, and that gave me the confidence to know that I can do this safely. And I went up many more times after that. After the Valangari Mountain, I also visited some local temples that my taxi driver has recommended to me. And I have some YouTube videos about that also on my YouTube channel. So that's just briefly the temples that I visited in Coimbatore.
Alright. By the way, about the YouTube channel, if you don't know who is Shiva Kailash Shambho and this is the first video you have heard of him, I will put the link down below in the description of this video on his channel. He has some powerful things you should know, every one of you. So yeah. Uh, well, uh, could you say some words about the Vilayangari hill itself, the Sadhguru Sri Brahma spot?
Valangari Mountain is just, you can't even really call it a mountain. It's like a extremely big hill. It takes 4.5 hours to climb to the very top. And the energy is very rageful, lots of rage energy, but not towards anything or anyone. It's just rage. And if you can use this energy, if you can harness this energy, you can become so much more intense. And that's what I saw, and I wanted to absorb as much of this as I could. That's why I walked up many, many times. And when you're at the top, it's like absolute complete stillness. It's like you're in heaven. The massive rocks there, they're so energized. You would There's no person on earth that can't see what's happening there if they climb that. It's impossible. And I sat many times also in the Sri Brahma, Sadhguru Sri Brahma's Mahasamadhi spot, recorded many videos there too. The energy there is like, wow, it's eternal. It will never go away as far as what I see. It's like, it's timeless. Sadhguru says it was like someone did this yesterday. That's what it feels like, but you can't predict a time when this happened. It's just amazing. And that's where I spent the majority of my time when I walked up, because the energy there is so extreme. It's so intense. It's like you're basking in energy. And if you are lacking in fulfillment, or if you want to accomplish something, you just sit there and this powerful energy source just goes into you. It fulfills you. So that's exactly what I did. Um, yes.
All right, that's great. I like the Sadhguru Shipamo, the thing about the rage and the intensity. I want it. I want everyone to know the intensity of life. So please, guys, you should know it. Even if you don't want it, you should know it. Anyways, let's head to the next question. Okay, this one you already mentioned, and the next one is how are how are the people there in general and who you met personally? Please tell a little bit more about JJ and maybe someone else.
The people there in general, the Indian people, the South Indian people, are very polite, kind, respectful. They were very generous towards me because I don't belong to that land. Naturally, you can obviously tell right away. And also, I was wearing these spiritual things, so I was walking around this way. This is the most comfortable attire that I had, and I had the safe soil shirt. So people instantly recognized me that I'm from this Isha center and I'm spiritual, and they were always kind of smiling at me. Every single person in South India has some sort of sense of spirituality about them, as I said. Some people that I've met there, I've met some interesting characters that have also been banned. I've met two people that have been banned from the Isha Yoga Center. In fact, if you're staying outside of the ashram, one of the best places that you can go eat is at the Mahabharat Hotel. It's one of the fanciest hotels there, but they have breakfast, which is like $2, and it's all you can eat breakfast. It's very delicious. I wish I could go back there right now and eat their breakfast. So good. And also, lunch is pretty cheap, fairly cheap. Of course, you can go to the Isha Yoga Center in front of the Adiyogi. There's lots of food there. And yes, lastly, GJ, I'm very happy that GJ came because he said, I'm going to come to see you in front of the Adiyogi. And he came and he said, I drew 9 hours to come to see you. And that was a big shocker to me. Wow. I have to be really on top of my game. And I see that I'm responsible much more than I thought before, just making YouTube videos and kind of not caring. But this man invested a lot of his life to come to see me. And thankfully he did. We made some things happen for him there, and we went up Valangiri Mountain multiple times. And yeah, he's a very intense guy and spiritually progressing, and yeah, he's a powerful yogi himself.
All I can say is shout out GJ. This is very important. All right. This one question is really bothered me a lot because I know you did a lot of this action. What did you buy there?
I bought 10 of these Rudraksha malas. Uh, I bought Jivarasam, which you can't see. I bought this nice picture of Sadhguru in front of the Adiyogi, and the Valangiri mountain is right on the side here. I bought many more photos of him, of Sadhguru. I bought a copper water pot that is capable of holding 8 liters of water. I bought some other miscellaneous things that I gifted to people. I bought the Janalinga pendant, which I'm now wearing, and I have been wearing since that time. I haven't taken it off once. And I bought a cloth, orange cotton cloth. That's about it.
All right. I thought you would buy more. I thought
Oh,
you.
I bought a Linga Bite Goody, second
Mm,
one. That was the biggest investment that I made.
about you said that you never took out your adrenaline pendant. I want to know how do you manage your pendants and beads? Do you sleep in it, and what do you do with it?
So I'm wearing some spiritual attire below my t-shirt, my white t-shirt, some special metal, as well as the Janalinga pendant and one Rudraksha that I've had since the start of my trip. That I don't take off. I shower with it and I sleep with it and everything such as that. And the things that you see externally and the bracelets here, I take off. This is just for communication purposes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
So, yeah.
And about the pot, I want to know how did you manage to uh, go everywhere with it? Because it's big. I know it's big.
Yep. So I just put it in my luggage. It's not that it takes up maybe 40% of my suitcase, but I put stuff inside when I was traveling, so it kind of worked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I wasn't gonna go that much more to places, and I always had a place to sleep, so I just kind of put it in my suitcase and took it with me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then I understand. Let's see what we have next. Yeah. Okay, you said some places like Villajangari Hills and some other temples. Do you have any more places by which you were amazed other than Isha Yoga Center and Villajangari Hill and maybe some more, maybe just one interaction with the place that you just remember?
Yeah, I went to uh, Perur Pateshwar Temple. It's one of the biggest temples, or the biggest temple in Coimbatore, outside of the Isha Yoga Center, of course. It's the oldest temple. And they had an elephant there. Looking at the elephant's eyes, it was just so sad. The elephant has been just beaten and broken down inside. That's what it felt like. Also seeing how the owner or the handler treated him, slapping him when he didn't do what he wanted, it was just so upsetting. But besides that, seeing the elephant was a life-changing experience because you see elephants on YouTube and you look at them online. Oh, that's a big animal. Wow. You don't get it. You can't see it prospectively. Your body doesn't understand how big it is. When you see this large, large mammal, it's something that can crush you so easily. You have to keep your distance because if it changes its mind, that's it. You're gone. I wouldn't even have believed something like this existed. So camera, it doesn't even do 1% of justice to what this animal is. It's something that has to be experienced. And I'm fortunately to have experienced that. And the second place that amazed me, maybe the most amazing place in Coimbatore, was this tiny temple that my taxi driver has taken me. My taxi driver, his name is Govindraj. And when I first found him, people are always coming up to me and asking me, okay, come, we're taxi, and they're charging me 500 rupees, 600 rupees, 700 rupees. And I knew I was getting ripped off because that's naturally
That's
how it
big.
is. Yeah. So he's the first person that came up and he said, "Oh, you want to go here? This is the price." And I instantly felt, okay, this man is an honest man, and he's giving me a fair price that he would probably give to. This is just how much it costs. And from that day on, I took down his number, and I've taken 100 plus trips with him. So it worked out very, very favorably for him. And he's also very spiritual. He climbed a Valangri mountain multiple times. I will, maybe I can link his phone number or some contact information of him. So if you're ever in Coimbatore, you can hire him as your personal taxi driver. He's by far the best, and you definitely won't get ripped off. So I was with him, and one day he said, "Hey, there's this temple." He always took me to places that I haven't seen before. I'm like, "Okay, let's go." It's close by, and it's just this tiny little temple. There's I don't know what the name of it is, but I recorded one video I particularly remember. And there's lots of deities there. I wasn't really interested in that because the energy wasn't powerful or that impressive. Then right behind the temple, there was this tiny lingam, a Shiva lingam, and it had snakes around it. And that was just, the geometry was so perfect. It was so special, so spectacular. I just couldn't resist just standing there. It was just wanting to draw me into it. And I sat there for many minutes. My taxi driver was doing something to his car. Thankfully, he wasn't complaining too much that I'm staying for too long. And I stayed there for quite a long time. And I recorded one video of this, like the most powerful Shiva uh, temple or statue that I think is the title of this video. That was by far the most impressive temple that I've been to outside of the Isha Yoga Center.
You said snakes like statues of snakes around.
Yes, stone statues. Yes.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay. The next very interesting question is, where were you heading next after Coimbatore?
So after Coimbatore, I was heading to Nepal, and I booked my flight. And when I arrived to New Delhi, unfortunately, I missed the flight because the booking was too close to one another, and I didn't get my bags in time, so I missed the flight, and I had to stay at a hotel. I got to feel a little bit of what New Delhi feels like. The smog is very intense. You can see the air, but also it was the first place that I've been to that felt like India. Okay, I'm in India, and modern India, so to speak, or commercialized India, or yeah, that's just what I could say. Again, I always have to refer back to my channel. I have videos on New Delhi and talking about that place. So if you're interested, you can watch that in the future.
Yeah, in India, you mean like in uh, the bad side of the India, or just the modern perspective?
No, it felt like whatever I felt India was to me in my heart, now I'm in the India land. This is what it feels like. South India was kind of just a special gem that it's just wild. But this is more like modern India, and this is what it feels like to be in India. That's what I felt like. So,
Okay, so when you were you in any other cities or big cities in India other than New Delhi and
no.
the big?
Many years ago, I tried going to India. I booked a plane ticket and I arrived in Chennai airport, but they didn't allow me to go through. I didn't have any plans, didn't have anywhere to stay. I was just kind of lost, and maybe I'll go to India. It would have been, it ended up quite badly for me probably, so they rejected me. That was the only place that other place that I stayed in for a few hours in the airport. But even then, staying at the Chennai airport, I felt the prana from the land. It's coming out even through the airport, and I thought, okay, this is very spiritual. And it wasn't until many years later that I went back again.
Okay, so the next city after New Delhi was what got where you were in the Nepal.
Yeah, so I arrived in Nepal, and I was in Kathmandu the entire time.
Yes.
Didn't go anywhere else. So yeah, I stayed in an Airbnb there.
All right, I already have some more questions, interesting ones, because there is a Lingam Bhairavi temple, but guys, we will leave them for the next part because it's very interesting and I don't know anything about Nepal as such, and Nepal culture and Nepal people, and even the any of Shiva's experiences in Nepal, just a few. So we will leave this on the to the second part. Um, Shiva, do you want to add something at the
No,
end? That's it.
no, that's it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Shout out to Alex for making this happen.
Yeah,
Subscribe to both our channels, and we'll see you in the next video.
yeah. See you in the next video. Shiva Shambho.